Hello, everybody. The foothills of Sierra Nevada is not an ordinary place, and for the keen eye, the landscape could be no less spectacular than those of the ocean shores. Among the waves of golden dry grass, artificial lakes have been created to help manage the water supply for agricultural lands down in the valley. One of them is Lake Don Pedro, filled with waters of Tuolumne River. The lake covers a large area, and its 160-mile-long winding shoreline makes it an interesting place to explore and to have all kinds of water fun, including kayaking, boating, and fishing. We spent only one night at the lake, but it was wonderful and an unforgettable experience. One of the coolest ways to experience Lake Don Pedro is to rent a houseboat. Those can be 50 to 70 feet long and, in fact, are pretty much like houses, with kitchens, bathrooms, sleeping rooms, TV. It's like being on a cruise with one difference. You can be the captain of your ship, and you decide where to bring her for an adventure. With one exception, you can't park the boat at the marina yourself. You will have to hang out nearby until a professional driver will arrive to do it for you. Look at those expensive, fancy boats, and imagine smashing them like an empty soda can. Full disclosure, if you opt for renting a houseboat yourself, you better know what you're doing. It's much trickier than renting a car. Houseboats are complicated machines, and things may break. They're also not fuel efficient and honestly kind of expensive. We would never dare to do it on our own without an experienced captain, and luckily, we have one among our friends. The fish is abundant and makes quite a show in the morning hours, when it splashes living awe-inspiring ripples on the calm water. The lake has trout, which, according to local stories, comes from a nearby hatchery flooded after the storm. Fish of other kinds like bass, crappie, bluegill, and king salmon have been pulled out from the depth of Lake Don Pedro. The name of the lake comes from the name of one amazing French guy, Pierre Saint-Sylvain, who was sent by his family from France to California to find his uncle. Pierre found the uncle and went on receiving Mexican land grant in 1843, and within a few years built a sawmill, a flour mill, and a boat, and went to dig gold in the mountains. This is where a mining town called Don Pedro Bar came to be. Although Pierre, or should we call him Don Pedro, quickly realized that opening a store and a hotel would be more profitable. He also was the first producer of sparkling wine in California. What else would you expect from a Frenchman? So, just to recap, Don Pedro was actually Pierre, who got his title Don as a ranch owner. A mining town, Don Pedro Bar, was named after him. The original name was actually Saint-Sylvain Bar, after the last name of the guy. But for obvious reasons of simplicity, Don Pedro eventually prevailed. The town was flooded after a dam was built, and the dam took the name of the town. Eventually, in 1971, another dam was built, and the old one was flooded in the process of creation of the artificial lake that now bears the familiar name Don Pedro. Of course, during the summertime, the weather is quite hot, but the water is always near at the Lake Don Pedro, and it's great, clean, and refreshing. If you are not afraid of sun and water, this adventure is for you. See ya!